So, who should and who shouldn't do an MBA? Well, the first question here is, what's the right age to do an MBA? Almost every MBA program will insist you have at least 3 years experience in the workplace. But in terms of the upper limit, really there is no limit here. I've had some very dynamic, very fun, and very successful MBA students studying in their 50s and in their 60s. So it really doesn't matter. The question here is about when is the right time for you to do it, rather than what is the right age. The second thing to consider here is for those people who are from a non-business background and don't feel that this is accessible for them. Well, increasingly it is. There is a real focus here in every MBA school of really trying to get a much more diverse group of students into the school. And that diversity clearly reflects the typical dimensions we look at in terms of diversity, but it also includes people who haven't had a classic business environment. It may be that they're doing something very different, certainly not a managerial background, but increasingly this is something that is very open to you. So certainly do consider it, because this is exactly the kind of thing that business schools are looking to do. And this really leads on to the issue of gender. And certainly my advice to women considering an MBA is that an MBA can be an incredibly useful thing to have got done, particularly if you get it done earlier in your career, particularly before your personal situation may get more complex, because it gives you that future flexibility. That opportunity to really have many more options that you can consider about what you want to do at different phases in your career. So my advice to really everyone is really consider whether an MBA is right for you and whether an MBA is right for you now. And if you can choose, don't put it off, because the sooner you get it done, the more it's going to really open up the opportunities for you. So for many of us, myself included, when I did my MBA, I had no idea I would end up setting up my own consulting firm and then end up actually moving into academia. And now having been on the faculty for over 20 years, this was not something that I was imagining when I started my MBA. So the sooner you get started on the MBA, the sooner the options will really open, the networks will open, and the opportunities will increase for you. But there are some people, I would argue, that the MBA is really not for them. And so there are some business owners, typically business founders of the more charismatic variety, who have said to me over the years, Richard, I never studied for an MBA. I've never had a single day of business education in my life. And look how well I've done. This isn't something that anyone needs. And here's the thing. If you are those once-in-a-generation geniuses, the Elon Musks, etc., the Steve Jobs, that really don't need to really get that help along the journey, then fine. Don't do an MBA. And to be honest, you probably won't be watching this video anyway. But be very careful of assuming just because you have somebody who has been successful without an MBA, this isn't something that would be relevant for you. Because really, as I've said elsewhere, that understanding that you probably don't have all the skills and capabilities today that will be necessary to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your career, and then help you really develop the capabilities you'll need to be successful in more senior, more complex, different roles in the future. So for the rest of you, I think this is something I would strongly consider that you really certainly keep it in mind of whether an MBA is going to help you on your journey.